Hey man, hey, wait, push pause just for a second. Push pause for a second. I gotta tell you something, man. That's good, dude. Everybody just clap for the sound man. That's good. And number two, y'all should see it. When I did that, everybody was like, I'm sorry, I messed up the whole thing. Could you just back that up? Let's do it again. Here it is. Here's my movie. Once upon a time. Shut up, man. A long, long time ago, there was a man. And there was a woman. Their love was deep. Their love was strong. Nothing on, below, or above this planet could ever separate their love. That was good. All the girls are like, oh! I'll do it again for you, all right? Their love was deep. Their love was strong. Nothing on, below, or above this earth could ever separate their love. But someone will die. That's great. I had to. I was losing the boys. They were like, die! When they got married, it was beautiful. It was the most incredible thing ever. On the morning after the honeymoon, the husband woke up and he stretched and he smelled something. Beef jerky. Look at me. Shut up. Hey, you must be from the country. I like beef jerky. I wake up in the morning, I smell beef jerky all the time. Beef jerky. Bacon. Biscuits and gravy. He went to work that day and told all of his friends, man, it's unbelievable. She can cook and everything. When he got home that afternoon, he didn't even make it to the front door, and all of a sudden, another smell. Pot roast. Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. Look at his face on the screen.
When he walked in the door, the table was set, the candles were lit. She looked so fine. She was blowing his mind. He washed his hands and sat down and they ate, and it was beautiful. Somebody say, every day. No, everybody look at somebody and say, every day.
Every day.
One more time, say, every day.
Every day.
It was like that every day, every day, every day. But one day, oh, don't you hate it when a story says that? But one day, when he came home, he smelled the aroma. He opened the door, but instead of 3 place settings, there was 3. There's usually 2, but now there's 3. He looks and says, honey, who's coming to dinner? And she said, go wash up, I'll tell you. When he came back in and sit down, she sat down beside him and said, honey, look at the plate beside you. He looked at the plate and there was a card. As he opened the card, he read it and it said, we're having a baby, but someone will die. It was a boy, an incredible boy. He was rambunctious and he could go everywhere. But even with all the chores of taking care of a baby, the food was always there. She took care of her man. It was unbelievable. It was the 3 of them and everything was fine. But one day, when he came home from work, the candles were set, his son was there, but instead of 3 settings, there were 4. He didn't wait. He grabbed the card and he said, we're having another baby, but someone will die. Two boys. Two boys. Now the family family was complete. And every day, it was every day he loved coming home from work. But one day, at 5 o'clock, when the door would open and he would step in, he didn't come. Around 6 o'clock, his wife just fed the kids. And about 7:30, put them to bed. She would hear something outside and open the door, but it would be nothing. At about 1 a.m. in the morning, there was a knock on the door. She opened up and went, "Honey, where you been?" And it was a man from her husband's work. He looked at her and he simply said, "There was an accident at work. And I'm sorry, but your husband, he's gone." Now, I don't know how that feels. I can't even explain it. I can't even come close to tell you what it would feel like to lose a spouse like that. But all I know is this. She threw all of her love into her boys, because her boys, they look like that. They walk like that. They talk like that. They even laugh like that. And sometimes they smell like that. And that's not necessarily a good thing. Beef jerky, all right? When her boys went to school, she took care of them. They took the lunch to school. It was the best school lunch of any kid ever created in the history of mankind. She didn't just make a sandwich. She made the sandwich, peeled the crust off the edges, and she cut the sandwich diagonal. Look at me, boy. If your mama don't cut your sandwich diagonal, she don't love you. Oh, man. Little brother back there went, "Jesus will cut your sandwich diagonal." The boys grew up, and they grew up really strong. They decided in their life they would take care of their mom. Both boys fell in love and married beautiful girls. But it was awesome, because once a month, everybody showed up at mom's house, and mom would cook a meal for them. It was one night, on a night that both families got together at mom's house. The daughter-in-laws were there helping mom cook. And as they were making the meal, getting ready and get it all done, all of a sudden, both boys never showed up. The mom couldn't believe this could be happening again. The daughters tried to comfort her and say, "It's okay, they're just a little late." But instead, it was like a movie that would be ran over and over and over. Instead, a knock on the door. A man said, "There's an accident at work. I'm so sorry, both your sons, they're both gone. They're both gone." Now, some of you are looking at me this morning going, "I don't like your movies. I wish it was mine, but it's not." All I've done this morning was to put a modern day twist to Ruth chapter 1. The story that I just told you is about a woman by the name of Naomi. You see, if I'd have just read it from the Bible, 90% of you wouldn't really care. But now that I put it in a modern day movie, you feel for this woman. She didn't just lose her husband, she lost everything. Everything that she loved, everything that she had, everything that she adored. It's gone. Everything was ripped away from her. And it was as if, I gotta read it to you. I just gotta read it to you. Because after her husband died and both of her sons died, she decided something. She decided life wasn't worth living anymore. So here's what it is. It's real simple. In Ruth chapter 1, listen to the words of Ruth. She says this in chapter 1, verse 8. She says to her two daughter-in-laws, "Go back to your homes, return to your family, and may God show you kindness that you have shown the dad and me." Everybody look at me. Everybody say, "Reggie."
Reggie.
Tell me something.
Tell me something.
Naomi knew God. She believed in God. But yet still she told her daughter-in-laws, "May God show you kindness that you have shown the dead and me." She had put herself amongst the dead. Are you kidding me? Is she trying to say that this life, even if you're saved, can hurt you so bad that it can even make a Christian wish they were dead? I'm here to say yes, it can. So Naomi, because of the hurt and the pain of losing a husband and both children, wish she was dead. Ever happened to you? Let me tell you something before we go on. I was in a school in London, England. I like London. They have fish and chips. I like fish and chips. And when I was in London, England, I did this school, but it was a little different, all right? In London, they'll bring like 9, 10, 11 schools and put them all in one building, and I would speak. But those of you who are leaders, like he introduced me last night, I'm one of the best high school motivational speakers. A lot of people say in the world. I travel all around the world. I speak to 1.5 to 2 million kids in public schools every year. I do a lot of them. A lot of them. And I enjoy that because these secular kids need to know Jesus too. And sometimes, and a lot of times, especially in America, I can't say the name of Jesus. But you know what I found out? My character speaks louder than my words. And when they find out, dude, there's